most interesting things about grant writing is figuring out ways to work effectively with small teams of people, mainly through, I don't know, experience or the school of hard knocks. I think I've come to understand optimal ways to leverage the power of your team by using their energies appropriately. So, for example, how can we win by letting go of the team, right? Letting the wild horses run free. First of all, at the beginning, it really is important to let them run free. I like to encourage them to think big. It's like their grant project is going to be a circus tent. And the first thing to do is put up a pole that lifts that circus tent up about 400 feet. Otherwise, nobody's going to even really notice their grant proposal. Later on, I don't mind sharing the drafts with experts in the field in order to bring things a little closer to reality. But I wouldn't start with those experts. I also, maybe in real life, I'm kind of judgmental. But when it comes to doing a grant proposal, I try to hold my judgment back. And I really go out of my way to encourage all comments, good or bad, and anything people want to say about the proposal. I try to create an environment where they feel safe to do that. I also do ask them to bring to my attention any scientific research that they have to bear on the problem. I found some people really love doing research, and you might as well ask them to do that, and you should be very surprised by the results. So I'm not too perfectionistic at the beginning. I use that 80% rule. The idea is that if you wait for 100% certainty before you pull the trigger and make a decision, then you're in danger of actually losing the opportunity. So I don't really move on till I'm okay moving on when I'm at 80% and not 100%. So we want to encourage everyone to think big at the beginning of the project. So I do like to remind them that winning requires big, imaginative, and exciting projects that blow the funders away. Ideally, you're looking for something that scares you. You want something big, and big tends to be a lot larger than what you're used to. So you definitely want to come up with something that's scary. Scary in its size, and don't worry so much if you don't know how to pull it off. That's the kind of stuff that you'll learn in the process of pursuing your big goal. The other thing is, I do pay attention to my own level of interest. If I'm not excited about somebody's project, then I doubt that a funder who has less incentive to be interested in it than me isn't going to be very interested in it either. So I do track my own level of excitement. One of the tricks I've used to get people to think bigger is I ask them to imagine, what the goal or what the numbers would be if everything worked out perfectly that year. And then I ask them, where would they be if they just did the same old thing? And so I'll set a midpoint stretch goal halfway between where they are without making any changes and where they could be if everything went perfect. I also do I go out of my way to ask how technology might improve the project. This is part of how you impress the funder with being up to speed on the latest technology, and how you persuade them that you're actually saving them money and allowing their investment to go further than it might otherwise. So Don't fear sharing your later drafts with experts in the field, right? Don't worry that somebody's going to steal your idea. They're not. So you do want to let experts point you in the right direction. Sometimes they can just lift you up and set you down in exactly the right spot. And it's so easy for them because they know the field so well, or they understand the trends and what people are funding. So it is a good idea to humble yourself and ask for outside experts to be of assistance. This is especially true if you want to do high-level evaluation measurements, and you want to use the best possible existing evaluation questionnaires or tools to build the case for your program and to determine whether or not it works. So the other thing is, don't let yourself be discouraged by the experts. I remember as a young man, I had a great idea that welfare programs were caused by the implementation of child labor laws. And I can't think of anybody who agreed with me at first. Eventually, they did agree, and I won an award from the American Political Science Association in recognition of my work. But they weren't so gung-ho about my work at the very beginning. Okay, so we want to welcome all comments, good, bad, indifferent, whatever about our proposal. I am sophisticated about this. I am watching the room to see if some people are coming up with the same or nearly the same issue. That tends to give me more confidence if multiple people are noticing the same problem. I also like to tell people, if you have a concern or a fear about the proposal, don't keep it to yourself. I like to say the people that read and review these grants aren't any brighter than us, but they're not any dumber than us either. So I just want to give heartfelt encouragement to people to speak up if they see a flaw in the proposal. I like to say, don't forget that if someone sees a problem, someone working for the funder will undoubtedly notice the exact same flaw. So don't be shy about that. As I said, I do like to encourage the staff to bring relevant research to my attention. So the more of them that do that, the better. They're more likely to comb the field and have interesting search ideas and procedures that make that happen. I do like to have a single point of contact where all that information gets collected, and that's single point of contact is usually me or my assistant. I think sometimes grant writers, they get so eloquent that they forget that their job is to persuade people to their ideas, not assume that those ideas will be automatically accepted. So I'm not shy about asking people to document whatever claims they make in the grant proposal. Okay, finally, it's always a rush, a disaster, a crisis to get a proposal done, particularly a large government proposal. And one of the surprising things about me is, as picky as I am about grammar and language and spelling and proofreading, I'm really not ultimately a perfectionist. I'm actually, a lot of my success is due to the fact that I'm not a perfectionist. So my advice to you is, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. At some point, when you're near the end of the grant writing process, it's actually a good idea to stop improving it. At a certain point, all you're going to do is create headaches for yourself by adding information that, I don't know, it's inconsistent with the gist of your proposal. It's possible that by tinkering with it, you're going to add errors to the document. So at a certain point, you got to stop improving it. You don't want to turn that document into an entirely different proposal at the last minute. So, and also I don't worry about the quality of the first draft. As I say here, just write it like there's no tomorrow. So you want to give your team the freedom to do their best work at key points in the process, and they will amaze you with their brilliance. So I think definitely at some points you're going to have to rein them in, but at least you need to let them run free in some of the areas that I've mentioned in this presentation. So, John Drew, give me a call at 949-338-5921 or send me an email at john.drew@drdrewguaranteedgrants.com. Thank you very much.